I mean, just a couple months ago, we're standing here talking to you like this. How do you turn it around? What's going wrong? And now it's this, dramatic 19-3 in 22 games. Like, how fine is that line between the tough times earlier and now the role you're on here?
Yeah, I mean, our game is a lot better than it was then, so I don't know if can speak to how fine the line is, but we definitely grew our game. I think we're all proud of our game where it's at right now and how we're winning games. I don't think we're winning games the wrong way. I don't think Skinsy's outright stealing us games left and right. I think he's making huge saves when we need him. We've done a good job limiting chances. Our penalty kill has been great. Our top guys have been awesome, and the bottom guys have provided some support as well. So I think we're just happy about how we're winning games.
Every player here has played a ton of hockey, so you've been on teams that have been able to come from behind and win in overtime and win close games. But it's obviously easier said than done. There seems to be, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems to be a bit of a composure and calmness with the team right now, that if you are behind or you're in a tough situation, that everything stays consistent.
Yeah, I'd call it confidence. We're a confident group. We know that even if we're behind, I think there's been some games where we have been behind, but we've probably been outplaying the competition. So the message is not to deviate from how we're playing. We don't need to change anything. We don't need to start to take chances. We just continue to play the same way, and it might take 55 minutes or 57 minutes in the game, and we can get to where we need to go. So it's a swagger, it's a confidence.
Derek, you're a pretty insightful person.
Thanks, Tony.
Speaking of another insightful person, Stuart Skinner, so maybe perhaps you have a greater understanding of your teammate more than anybody here. How do you categorize the growth that you've seen from Stuart Skinner, especially with his mindset and his approach to the day-to-day?
Yeah, well, he's a smarter guy than I am. I'll give him that. I think he's just a true pro. I think he's learning what it takes to be a consistent starting goaltender, elite starting goaltender. He's learning how to take care of his body and be at his A game every day. And I don't know. He's a great guy. I hang out with him all the time, go to dinners with him all the time, and he just has a really level-headed mentality and demeanor, and I think that carries over to how he plays.
Right, from one curveball to another curveball.
Wow, okay.
I do like my curveballs.
Yeah, you do.
Scoring a 2-2 goal.
Okay.
18,500 people in the building. We know how loud the building was. Take us through the feeling. What does that moment look like for Derek Ryan?
Yeah, it was a pretty raucous environment for sure. It was loud with the Leafs fans and the Oil fans. But honestly, when I scored the goal, I was just thinking about, in the game, tying the game, how that was huge, and obviously I was aware that it was my 200th point too, so that was pretty monumental for me personally, selfishly. When you're in the game, you know what it's like when you're competing. You're just in the game, you're focused on that, and then later in the night after the game's over, you can reflect on it and just enjoy it a little more.
How do you wrap your head around that 200th NHL point?
Yeah.
In a career that you absolutely had to carve out yourself. How do you put that into words?
Pretty lucky, pretty blessed for sure. I feel pretty fortunate to be where I am. Obviously, I've worked incredibly hard and done a lot of great things in my hockey career to get to where I am now. But just a nice little time to reflect and realize how fortunate I am.
Ryan McLeod had a goal and an assist in the third period, and he was one of the guys. I don't think he scored till an empty netter late November in Winnipeg. I thought he showed a lot of composure on those two plays in the third period.
Yeah, I think his game's looking great. I know that you guys were pretty hard on him early in the season, and that probably was hard on him mentally, and it's really nice to see him kind of turn the corner and demand the praise of the people that have criticized him.
You are very good at deflecting pucks. Where did that skill come from? How hard have you worked on that?
It's something I've worked on, especially as I've gotten to the NHL level. A lot of goals go in that way. I think that I'm a smaller guy, so I'm not going to go to the net and out-muscle anyone in terms of body position. I have to find a way to get my stick free and my body free away from the big defenders, and so it's just a skill that I've developed throughout my career, I guess, especially in the NHL.